Hi, I'm Reid. This is Brenda Lee. Together we're Horses Know the Way Home. And with my excellent support team at Horses Know the Way Home, we're here to present you this video to expose to you the personality that is the teacher that created equine guided education. That's Ariana Strozzi. This is a part of a 30 interview series, a Tele-Summitt series that Jennifer Oikel has put together with Healing with the Horse. In today's interview, which is part of a package that you can purchase, we'll tell you at the end of the video what it can be. You'll notice that I'm pausing with my words because I want to take a moment to honor and respect somebody who, when I listened to this interview, I had to listen to it 3 times. One, just to listen to it, put my paper and pencil down. The second time to take notes. And the third time to really let my notes sink in. Every once in a while you bump into a teacher who has completely walked the walk. Completely learned everything at the place where learning takes place. Right there at the experiential moment. Not from the books, but from where all the books are pointing to. Where all the books are pointing to. All the how-to books. How to do this, how to do that. They're all describing something that somebody's done, and someone's taken what they've done and put it into words. Ariana's one of those special people that was the person doing it and the person describing what she was doing so she can share it to the world. She talks about equine guided education, but it first came from her whole life with horses, her life as a trainer, a life as a trainer of horseback riding, living on ranches, living in wildlife, and living with wild animals that when they're looking at you, you can see they're sizing you up. They're seeing right through you. They're reading your energy. And to be around creatures like that, and to be in nature, to be in the ocean, to be in the forest, and let the ocean and the forest and nature be your teachers, and be paying attention to what's being taught, and to have the wherewithal to understand it. That's a rare individual, and that's Ariana. That's what I got out of that one interview. Ariana also studied Aikido, and Aikido means the way of harmony, joining with, becoming one with. So whenever there's a movement, you join with that movement. Horses, nature, the way of harmony, how to get along, how a herd lives. And people get along within the people. Horses get along in the herd, and the message for us is to get along, and how that works, and the dynamics of that, how nature gets along. Aikido is the way of harmony, and equine guided education, and Ariana Strozzi is all about that. I love one way that Ariana put it. She said, you can take all this equine guided education and put it into your professional offers. Because I've been stumbling and bumbling around the words, equine facilitated professional offers. How you're offering what horses have offered you and you're offering to other humans. Thank you for those 2 words of witness. And I'm getting excited because I want to talk about what Ariana talked about at the end. She talks about her approaches teaching somatic education. And somatic education has come down to, used to be the experience in the body. But somatic really means the mind, body, spirit. To the horse, the mind, body, spirit's all one. They don't separate them. We have separated them. Where our body, as Ariana will say, experiences everything in the moment. Our mind is focused on others, what others think, what others say we should do, where we should be, how we can follow the books that others have written, and the mind can study what others have written and put it together. And then there's the spirit. And all of a sudden, I don't know what it is about this industry, we don't want to use the word spirit like it's a bad word. I think the spirits are probably going, oh my God, use the word spirit, the interconnectedness of all things. It goes beyond words, and we're going to try with our words to point to it. And I actually think the attempt is all that's needed. This thing that we can't see, this connection we have with the earth, with the universe, with each other, with ourselves, that we have words that point to it, but the words would never be it. The words can just be witnesses of what's taken place, or if we get a good description, it can help take us there. Those are words that move us. And that place it moves us is just beyond the brain's understanding. But the brain can participate with it. That's the spirit. We almost poo-hoo the word spirit. Can you imagine that? We've come to a time in our evolution that we want to whisper the word spirit because we don't want to get caught being politically incorrect. And what suffers is the word spirit. So now we have mind-body. I don't want to live in that world. So Ariana, thank you for, like me, stumbling and bumbling and trying to get that word spirit out there so it becomes practical. Not something spiritual, practical. Taking spiritual energy and using it to connect with other human beings and letting the horse and nature and the ocean and the forest and other animals and us being one of those other animals, other humans, help us connect us to our spirit so life becomes worth living. Ariana talks about being dyslexic and how that helped her because being dyslexic, she didn't trust the words. They didn't mean a difference to her. So what she felt mattered. Richard Branson talks about his dyslexia helped him build his business because when he's marketing a business, the fact that he can't get the words, if they make sense to him, they make sense to everyone because he's got to feel what the marketing is about. So having dyslexia, I can see how that would help tremendously, Ariana, not buying into the words, but first feeling the truth of the words, what the words are pointing to. Too many people get stuck in the description and don't look to the experience that the description is pointing to. The horses, they are the experience. They don't have the words to point. The mind, body, spirit, there's not a separation. There's an integration. There's an interconnectedness, not only between mind, body, spirit, but mind, body, spirit of another being next to them. They don't see themselves as separate. Ariana also goes on to talk about your body being the first responder. So as you go through life, you feel things first. You experience them first. And then the brain comes around and describes what happens. The brain's just recording what's already taken place. The brain is actually talking about history, what's already taken place in the past. The body's the first responder. And that's a great thing because that means you can go into the body and we can heal and we can grow and expand when we get back into the experience. And that into that experience, that integration of mind, body, and the thing beyond words becomes where we can make a difference. We can move things. We can stop moving towards what matters and move away from what doesn't matter. And that spirituality to me, folks, is just practical. It's applicable. And when we use words to say is, woo, can't talk about that, we disconnect from the most important part of us. That's my opinion. And apparently it's Ariana's opinion too, or close to it. I'm sorry if I used any words that didn't belong and support what you talk about, Ariana, but that's what I get out of your talk. Words are witnesses. They witness this thing that's taken place, and this thing that's taken place doesn't need our words. But if our words help make it more alive in our lives, use those words. So, Ariana, thank you for giving me such a beautiful perspective on somatic and equine-guided education and the use of spirituality and as a practical tool for making my life better and for reassuring with me and reinforcing in me that I can get all I need from nature, from the ocean, from the forest, from the animals, and from the other animals called humans, that we're not separate, that we're part of this, and that we do not need to separate ourselves and say that there's something wrong with us. We're part of nature. And if you ask me, that's what the horses are telling us. Stop beating yourself up as a human and start embracing your humanness. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you, Jennifer, for bringing Ariana to us. Anybody who wants to listen to this interview, go to horsesonthewayhome.com/healing. You can download the entire 30 interview series. And the last message I have to say today at the end, we're animals just like the horses, the cats, the dogs. We're part of the forest. We're part of the ocean. We're part of this planet. We're not separate. And we're not bad. we're part of. And when we embrace that responsibility and the power of that, life can be infinitely easier and more rewarding. Thank you.